children. How is it affecting our future if nothing is done with urgency?
A very good morning to all of you, and I think I appreciate all of you for taking time for this and coming, because it's a huge cause. Many really don't understand what is the necessity of this, because on a daily basis we are not realizing the harmful effects. It is slowly purging into our life in a very small way, but going to be a huge damage in the future. As today I'm very proud to be here, because a small girl who is 10 years is thinking about the future of our children, our community as humanity. She's thinking nothing can be more important to this. I think all of you should applaud the Siyona and her mother Geeta for driving this initiation, because the change has to begin somewhere, and I'm very, very proud that I'm associated with Little Mind Wise. You know, the thing, as you have asked, Siyona, the change what these plastics come on a daily basis, they are, all of us are in a world where, you know, we want affordability, and, you know, it should be easily available and multipliable. So something which is sustainable can't be done so easily. So things which come very easily is something plastic. I can see, you know, the tape here, right in front of me is again plastic. It's as simple as that, to your daily drinking cups and bottles which have been packed, to food which has been packed. Everything today is bound to have plastic. If I can talk, I think we will not, 2 days of this beautiful session also will not be enough to explain the damaging effects of how plastic has inculcated into our daily lives. But I would like to restrict her question and keep it short and informative, that how toys are really causing a big change in the growth of the children. See, all these toys, when they're made, particularly when they have come as a new brand, nothing is harmful as in then, because they all try to maintain the standards of the ISI, FSSAI, seeing that the grade of plastic in the toys are good. But the big story starts when they start to decay. See, everything has a decay process. Plastic and the decay, no, it's not decaying, but it starts emitting chemical compounds. You have bought a child for 6 months some toys here and there, and they are staying in your baskets for more than 1 year, you know. You just don't want to give away, because there is a lot of emotional attachment that, no, this is the first toy he touched, this was the first toy he scratched, this was the first toy he touched, all these, you know. So we tend to keep all these plastics. After a point, these plastics starts emitting toxins, which is the biggest problem. That's why when Siyona asked me in the podcast also, I said, start the change from here, because we have already gone. As adults, we have enjoyed this earth how much we could. But the future, I don't know how many of you would see the proper earth, how it was. Half of them don't even, the forests which we have seen, don't even exist today as forests. The lakes, I would really appreciate to regenerate the lakes which are coming, because this is a city of lakes and hardly we see any lakes. The great people like them who are taking initiations to bring back and restore our natural resources. So these chemicals like propylene, BTA, terracycline, all these compounds which are emitted from these start changing the DNA structure, because the babies are still growing. Today we have theories and studies which have shown around the world where microplastic has entered human blood. We have seen veins which was grafted in the legs to be taken for an heart transplant. When it was histopathologically studied, there was a lot of microplastic in it. Can you believe it? So you can see how deep-rooted this plastic has entered human development. So if it can happen to adults, what is the change that will happen in the child which is growing? Every day they're exposed to plastic. We so easily pack food in the plastic containers, send them to schools. That hot food is staying there in the containers for so long. And don't you think it will get absorbed into the food? And this food which is consumed goes inside and starts making the changes. Until a few years, I would not say even a decade, few years back, they were just thinking plastic is only damaging the external structure, it is damaging our ecosystem. And no, today the studies have gone deep inside in reading the DNA, the lysosomes, mitochondria, RNA. It has entered every possible thing. So the future is definitely in danger. It is high time we make that change, that somewhere we need to stop it. And fortunate enough, it was in 2018 and 19, the drives were very hard, and even BBMP and many states had started implementing not to use plastic bags and plastic covers, which are the most terrible compounds which can enter into the body. Unfortunately, COVID has changed the scenario. Again, COVID brought back, untouchability and a single-use thing. So we are again back to square one. We are again using food which is packed in plastics. Again, food containers. The drive has gone a waste. But nonetheless, if we want our children's future has to be changed, I think the change has to begin somewhere. And I'm very happy, a kid of 10 years, and it is high time that all of us adults start from our houses. I promise myself that we will not have plastic in any types of the food consumption we do. And please take back that as your message home today and help this child take the drive strongly. And we have to unearth plastic a lot from this earth. And as Siyona said, what is the damage it is causing? We are seeing that hormonal changes already. In the 15 years of my experiences, now the hormone changes are so bad that PCOD was only a disease of 30 plus. But today, we are seeing young girls who are just hitting their puberty having a lot of PCOD changes. Coming to the boys, externally the concentration of neurosciences. I am doing a thesis with IIT where we are seeing how these change of growth pattern is happening with children. So this is going to be another 2 years of study of how much data we are going to collect. But the change is there even in the boys in terms of how they are neurotransmitting their thing, because these are chemicals. So any chemical can change or trigger the way the thought process can be. So if it can go so deep, then you know how intense is the problem and how intense is our duty to take this message and spread in our circles and our families and our community to say that plastic is the future damage and we have to control it immediately. And I'm happy, Siyona, you're doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. One question. You were speaking about this condition that comes after 80 plus, and then now you're seeing it in younger girls. What is it actually?
The hormonal changes, because it is started to do with the estrogen and progesterones. So they are complexing with these hormones. So the change is that it will not give, to be in a simpler words, not a scientific word, fast growth of children, fast growth of hormones. So that will damage the growth hormone. So if it is affecting the growth in the reproductive system, the next generation, the cells like the ovaries and the sperms, they start getting affected. So the generation to generation, the DNA will start changing.
Oh, that is like really sad. Like we can, I think if nothing is done about this, next generation of babies will have to be test tube babies.
Of course, definitely, but I hope the test tubes are not plastic.
Yes. So, Annapurna ma'am, you have